3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.
Whether you've been married 1 or 20 plus years, at some point, you realized you were married into crazy.
And that's what our podcast is all about. We offer love, laughter, and a dose of reality as we unpack this crazy thing called marriage.
So sit back, relax, and get your ear hustle on. It's time to start the conversation.
All right, let's go.
Welcome to episode 194 of the Married into Crazy podcast with Snooks and Lovey. I'm Lovey.
I'm Snooks.
And as you can tell, just by looking at us, she is no longer diseased.
Really?
Look, if you guys watched the last YouTube or seen any of the pictures that came out from the last podcast, it was called The Bounce Back. And I have to honestly say that even though this one is going to be titled something different, this is definitely the bounce back. Because last time we were both masked up. She had just tested. I think were you positive at that time, or were you negative?
I was still positive. But
She was still positive. The house is now clean. We have purged the house of disease. COVID is gone. COVID be gone.
Wow.
Rana told Rona, get out.
I did.
Only one of us can be here.
Only one of us.
So no, we're back on the mend. Everything's good. It's nice. We don't have to walk around wearing N95s and, being short of breath every time we climb the stairs. Not because we had COVID affecting our respiratory, because those darn masks. I couldn't breathe. We
don't have to run from Isaiah either. He kept it forever, it seems like.
That dude.
Yeah.
We're sitting there, no mask on, talking, because by the time everybody else tested negative, then he comes running up, snot dripping, everything else. We're like, we don't know if you're just like a little toddler or if you're like the COVID machine right now.
Like, just back up. And he didn't understand, we weren't really holding him a lot, but poor baby.
He was like,
anyway,
Papa and Gigi suck.
No, maybe Papa, not Gigi.
Definitely Papa, because I was telling him, like, look, bro, hey, get down.
He was being mean.
I was like, get off my side. I walk in there, and he'd act like he was going to sleep. He'd be like, night, and jump on my pillow. And I'm like, and every time he would do that, he's like blowing snot.
He was not. Why are you exaggerating like that, though?
He was slobbering on my pillow.
He was not.
The boy leaves a trail of slobber everywhere he goes.
No, he just walks around with slobber hanging out his mouth.
He's like a human snail.
No, he's not. Stop talking about him like that. Anyway, I know you're ashamed.
But we're blessed to have him here with us for a little while longer, a couple more days. Yeah. He's been here since, it's been over a month. We've had him since the day after Easter. So we said we've had enough and he got to go. Amen.
Nah, that's not why.
Oh, no? Okay, my bad. No, so that's what's been going on. But I'll tell you what, this kid will force you.
Mean.
All the grandkids, especially when we get all three of them, they will force you to really want to meditate and have like these Zen moments. You would see, who was that? It'd be like Martin Lawrence. Woosah. You sit there and want to have these moments where I just need to get my mind right because
he's
I'm about to catch a case with these little bodies.
He's a lot. He's definitely a lot. But I'm gonna say I think I'm gonna miss him.
Oh, I know I am.
I said I think I'm gonna miss him.
Well, we complain, but then
just his energy in the house. It was kind of cool a little bit having a little tiny person in the house again. Definitely keeps us on our toes, but
you know why?
He definitely makes
because Legos are everywhere.
Oh my gosh!
Stay on our toes because look, you get up to walk around late at night, and he doesn't put his little blocks away. You talk about some pain.
But here is the thing: he is hecka funny, very stubborn. He never wants to say please. He knows how to say it, but he just like, I'm like, say please. I mean, he almost throws a whole fit. I'm like, okay, go sit down then. You can't say please. You don't get it, And that's his one thing. He'll say thank you. He'll say everything.
He'll say bless you. You'll sneeze. He'll say bless you.
Yeah.
You say thank you. You hand him something. He'll do all that. But then when you say, okay, say please, he'll look you straight in the face, be like,
I'm like, well, you don't want it that bad, so it's whatever.
I don't know what the hang up is.
I don't know either. I was like, maybe it's because is it hard to say p? Like, no, it's not. he says everything else. So
Now, when I made it a song, I was like, please, please, please. He would walk around singing that. But then I say, okay, you want some candy? Yeah, okay. I'm like, okay, say please. He just like, his whole face would go straight.
yeah.
He's like, you ain't tricking me.
Yeah, he's funny. But anyway, we're gonna miss him. He's going home, because we're going out to what is that?
Atlanta, to the Black Pod Fest.
Yeah.
Next podcast will be highlighting the Black Pod Fest. So it's what we're going to be attending. This is a business trip that we're taking together, where we're going out to meet up with a lot of other African American podcasters within the industry, not just podcasters themselves, but also people that support podcasting. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be like going to the Mecca. Look, she's laughing because I'm looking forward to it. That doesn't mean she is.
I'm not saying anything. I'm going because I mean you asked me did I want to go, and I didn't say yes readily. I mean I'm being very honest. I was like I don't know, and I think we were talking about either going to this or the family reunion because we couldn't do both. So naturally I was like,
Sure.
I want to go to the family reunion, but it just didn't work out anyway because the family
school.
reunion's later and school and stuff. So he's like, well, we're going to the Black Pod Fest. I was like, okay.
Hey, look, she's playing the role because she became friends with Angel. If you think back a while ago, we interviewed Angel and Gaza, and Angel and Gaza have a podcast
The
called
Lion and the Mermaid.
The Lion and the Mermaid,
And
which
the
is
Unforgiven.
well, more so Lion and the Mermaid. The Unforgiven's kind of gone by the wayside, but
Oh, really?
yeah, they just haven't done
I
more
was about to
episodes.
say, no, it hasn't. Anyway, go ahead.
But Lion and the Mermaid, it's parental advisory.
Yeah,
It's
not for children.
It's not for children by any means, but it's really good. And we had like a small bit part in this last season, so that was kind of fun. But they hit it off. They text each other and talk, and then every now and then, Angel and I will go back and forth on Instagram. But she's got friends that are going to be there, so now she's happy.
I have a friend. He act like I
friend.
know 15 people.
So we're going to go out there and have a good time, learn a little bit more about the industry, learn how to make the podcast that much better while we're out there. So that way we can hopefully increase the quality and the content and all the things that you're used to, but make it that much better. Now, with that said, if you would right now, if you like the way things are, if you've been enjoying yourself through these 194 episodes, 194 plus, go over to Apple Podcasts and Spotify and leave a review. Leave a review and put 5 stars on it. Put 5 on it. And since you're online, take another 5 seconds and go over to marriedintocrazy.com. Go there and book a discovery call. For those of you that think, you know what, we want to talk to these guys and make our marriage that much better. Go from wherever we are right now, if you're average and you're like, okay, we might need a little assistance, to good, or if you're like, hey, everything is good on this end, but you know what, just like changing oil, let's go in for a little bit of maintenance. If you want to go from great to phenomenal, it's not about us, it's about you, but we give you resources and tools, things that we've received as we've continued our training through like the Gottman Institute. We're both level 1, level 2 certified in the Gottman method couples training therapy. And so we use that along with our extreme execution training with Dr. Eric Thomas. And the things that we learn, because we're also moderators in the community for ET, for his marriage community. And we do all these different things and we bring it to you through our coaching. So you can go there and book a discovery call just to chop it up for 15 to 30 minutes, just to kind of figure out, are we a fit? And since you're already going to be on the website, feel free to go over to the store that's on the website and get you some Married Into Crazy gear. Now, you can't get the shirts you see now because this is old school.
This is vintage.
This is the vintage stuff. This you don't know. What you know about that?
Whatever.
No, so you can't get these. Now, for certain sizes, we might be able to gift a few people here and there. But go there and check out the new gear. There's a lot of great stuff, especially for the fellas or the ladies, whoever likes to barbecue. There's a really cool Married Into Crazy apron out there. While somebody's indoors, the other person outdoors can let everybody know, hey, I'm out here cooking because I'm married into crazy. Check it out so you can see what I'm talking about. So we just paid the bills. We're good. But when we come back, we're going to tell you all about the Black Pod Fest. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be food trucks and classes, and I want to go to the Slutty Vegan. I can't wait. You should have saw her face. You should have saw her face. There's a restaurant called the Slutty Vegan. She knew I wasn't talking about her because she ain't no vegan.
Oh my gosh. I was
You trying to put all our business out there.
Wow. Okay.
No, but I plan on going out there, really enjoying the food. I want to savor every single bite of everything we're eating. That's a form of mindfulness. Just kind of savoring the moment, savoring the food. And that's something we want to talk about today. And that is being more mindful in your relationship, being more mindful in your marriage.
So exactly how would you define mindfulness though? Like, what is mindfulness to you?
Oh, exactly. Kind of like what I just said, being in the moment, being present. Okay, I was using the example of I want to enjoy every single bite. Well, a form of mindfulness, particularly for those of us that are on a weight loss journey, or a health journey, let's call it that, where instead of throwing food in your mouth, taking a few bites and swallowing it in chunks.
Like me.
I'm guilty too. It's taking a smaller bite and really using your teeth to masticate, which is to chew up the food, to really grind it down to where you can change the consistency. So if you've got something that's like crunchy, chew it till it's no longer crunchy, till you no longer feel that crunch. If you eat like a piece of bread, you can feel that consistency. Whatever the initial consistency is, chew it until the feeling changes, till it's fully masticated. And you're going to do two things. Number one, you're going to be more mindful. You're going to focus on the taste, all the different flavors that you're experiencing. Is it spicy? Is it sweet? Is it savory? Is it all these different things? And you start to experience that. But it also does your body a good thing because you allow certain enzymes to get in there and break it down for better absorption. So you're doing multiple things all at once. But I think being mindful is really, it comes down to being in the moment.
Yeah, I was looking for that. Being in the moment, I feel like being aware of your surroundings, especially when you're talking about with your partner.
Right.
Being aware of your partner's what they have going on. We're not mind readers, but there are times when I can feel when your aura is off. And I think, you can probably feel I know you can. You can feel when mine is off, and for most partners, you come in the house, somebody comes in, you be like, "Uh-oh."
Right. Well,
What's going on with this one?
I can always tell when yours is off because your energy is off, and it usually starts with ooh, like we talked about last time. See, you got this telltale sign.
I don't always say that though.
You say it a lot.
I say ooh, a lot. That just means they getting on my nerve at home.
I hear it a lot. So but mindfulness practice, it's going to help you shift your unconscious behaviors that are impacting our relationships on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
It increases your awareness of like all your habitual behaviors, these things that we do unconsciously all the time. But if you're being more mindful, you're really making an effort, being intentional, if you will, about really understanding how you're impacting your spouse.
So, and one thing, we talk a lot about this with our different couples during coaching too, talking about the art of unlearning.
Yeah.
So it's like when you're being mindful, sometimes your brain will rewrite the way that you respond to certain things.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you're not just going in like, I'm just coming in hot and I'm gonna just say whatever, and I'm being mindful.
I'm just keeping it real.
We take our time, because when you're used to responding that type of way, that's just your go-to automatically. So being mindful, I'm going to be mindful about what I'm saying, how I'm responding, how I'm feeling his aura or you're feeling mine, and I'm going to take my time, just like with the food, and let my brain process what's being said. And so it's going to rewrite the way that I respond. This is just my, my little pontification, I guess.
Come on, preach.
But it's going to rewrite how I respond to what you're saying. Because typically if I'm always coming in, like I said, I'm coming in hot, or I'm coming in, oh, blah blah blah, whatever. Like you like to say, a lot. But now I'm stepping back, and the it's not coming out
As
because my
much.
brain is rewriting what my response is going to be. That's me being mindful of how I'm responding, how, and hopefully how you're going to receive. I'm thinking, how will he receive what I'm saying?
Nope, I agree. See, when you become more mindful, let's call it of your emotional landscape. When you look out and you see the landscape before you, if you're actually being more mindful, you can take better inventory of that emotional landscape, right? And that self-awareness increases, and you're able to experience an increase in your ability to moderate your responses. You said the way you react, and there's a difference between reacting and responding.
Right. You're
But when you're
right.
talking about when we're in the moment, we're just doing what we normally do, that's usually a
A
reaction.
reaction.
But what we want to do is have a I won't call it methodical, but we want to have a measured response.
So when you, well, I mean, it's kind of same thing. I won't say the same
Oh,
thing,
it's
but like,
exactly what you were saying. I'm just saying it's just a
because I
nuance.
feel like he was trying to call me out on the podcast.
No, no,
Like,
no.
I'm just
It's the
playing.
same. No, I mean, what you were saying, I agree with 100%, but I just like the word response
Response,
as
right?
opposed to reaction.
Well, because like you say though, when we react, I know reaction is typically for me. If I'm just reacting, it's gonna be negative. You know, if I'm responding, it's more positive. I sound more intelligent. you
Well,
know.
that mindfulness increases your sensitivity to your emotional response, to your experience. And it helps you understand and respond in these new ways, right? Because, and I say new ways only because then it's something different than the way we always do. Because, like you said, our go-to, we so often just go to what we're used to doing. It doesn't make it right. And you say, well, that's just who I am. No, that it's not necessarily just who you are. It's just the way that you've been allowed to do things over a course of time. So you've got this path that you've been walking, and we always want to go to the path of least resistance, and that's the one that we're most comfortable with, which is the one we do the most. Again, doesn't make it right, just makes it familiar.
Well, and to that point too, just kind of just piggybacking on what you just said. If you think about it, it's our conditioned beliefs and our personal experiences that kind of,
I agree.
make us go this way or that way. However it is that we respond.
But here's the fun thing. It's like, oh, I'm just keeping it real. It's like, oh, and we say, the R
Well,
in real is about realism.
being
Staying
real.
not like the comics talk about, when keeping it real goes bad or when it goes wrong. I'm talking about the reality of what it truly is. And if you're experiencing a strong emotion, you can turn towards the person that you see, and rather than like come at them a certain way, you can keep it real and be honest and open about how you're truly feeling. It's like, I'm feeling some kind of way right now, and I don't understand why I feel the way I do. That's real.
Well, and just in that point too, we have to get away from that. Oh, I'm just keeping it real. I think we've talked about this before, and we will continue to say it all the time. Just because you say I'm keeping it real, that does not mean you get to be mean. You can be real and you can be kind at the same time. It doesn't mean, well, that's just how I am, and I don't mean the bravado like that, but that kind of is how it comes. Well, you can't take it. That's just me. I'm just no. You're just
You can't
being
handle all this.
you're just being mean at that point, because sometimes when we say we're just keeping it real, we taking shots.
Oh, we
Let's
do.
just be
We
honest.
do.
We're just taking shots because I feel some kind of way because I'm actually in my feelings. I mean, I want to tell you I'm in my feelings, but I'm in my
Oh,
feelings.
I know when you're in your feelings.
But isn't that funny though? Because we always know when our spouse is in their feelings. Oh, I ain't in my feelings. I ain't. Why are you getting all hyphy then? You are in your feelings.
It's like,
Just be
yes, you are.
real.
Everybody can see it.
Everyone can see it. Everyone can see it.
The dog ran outside. It's hiding right now.
But just like I said, just like piggybacking on you again, just because you are keeping it real does not mean that gives you license to be mean. You can keep it real and you can keep it kind and you can keep it classy all at the same time.
So when
Did I
you
just
have
rhyme?
when you have all these flare-ups, right? When you start to really flood, we talked about flooding in the past, but when you're doing all that, you're in tune with your emotions, and you can start to express yourself in ways that are new to you, but it can still be raw and honest and super compassionate. But it's about being in the moment and finding ways to really set the stage to share that with the other individual. It's look, all we're really talking about is staying in the moment. In the moment, not being like, oh, I'm heated, I'm going to stay angry. No, like in the moment, like, what am I really feeling, and why am I feeling it, and how is it manifesting?
That's a good point too, and I didn't mean to point, but anyway, one thing that I think we need to realize and recognize when we are stressed, we are not in our present. We are not being present, because when I'm stressed out, I'm thinking about the thing that has me stressed, or I'm thinking about my mind is somewhere else. So I'm not in the present. I'm less present, if that makes any sense to you. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay. So earlier today, just full transparency, Lovey had called, and I was working from home today, and I was stressed out about something that I was working on, and he's trying to talk to me. I was not present. I was like, because my mind is on this thing. And he picked up on, he's like, okay, I'm gonna let you go because I know that you're busy and you're doing whatever. And I said, oh no, I'm okay. But he was like, no, you're not. Okay, I'm gonna get off the phone. But it's just one of those things, when we're stressed, we're less present, and we tend to, how do I say this? So if I'm less present and you're trying to engage, instead of me being honest and real, I'm going to convey, it's going to feel like I'm not paying attention to what you're saying, like I'm just kind of ignoring you.
Right.
Instead of saying, babe, look, right now I got this on my mind, yada yada yada, however you say it. But we don't say things because we want to avoid an argument. But now I'm about to cause an argument because I'm not even being.
Well, I wasn't going to argue, but that's
No,
what
but
happens.
I'm not saying on the phone today, but
no, it happens, and it's so funny. You're like, the instinct is to turn away from the challenging emotion or the challenging feeling, and whatever the feeling was that you were feeling, that frustration, that challenge you were having with work, turning away from that as it arises is a challenge. Rather than, it's just like like one of the Gottman methods that we use, talking about turning towards. So if you're taking a look at a sound relationship house, we talk about bids. Bids turning toward each other, or are you turning away from each other? Well, we also have to do the exact thing when it comes to our emotions. We need to turn towards that emotion, whatever it is we're feeling. If it's anger, turn towards that anger. If it's, frustration, turn towards it, to recognize it, to see it for what it is. You can't recognize something for what it is if you're turning away from it. It's like turning your back on it. Oh, I don't see you, therefore you don't exist. But all it does is grow. But if you turn toward it, you face it in the moment, like, I am frustrated. Why am I so frustrated right now? And it could have been just that easy. Babe, I don't know what's going on. I do feel frustrated. I do feel off. I'm doing this thing at work, and and we could have talked about that just for a brief moment, for you just to have that cathartic moment of just releasing that feeling. Talking about it might have been all you needed to actually, or any of us needs in that moment, is to just release that. Doesn't mean you're going to fix the problem, but it means that you're able to experience catharsis in that moment. And catharsis, for those of you that don't know, is it's this phrase where you're just, whatever you're feeling inside, instead of like bottling it up and suppressing it and pushing it down, you're just letting it out. Catharsis happens when, like Snick says all the time, I just need a good cry. I just need to get it out.
I don't say it all the time, but
that's catharsis.
I have cry days. Yeah.
Right. I know a lot of women that call them cry days, or they just like, I just need a good cry. Fellas, we're not immune. There's times where something is so pent up where you just feel like, remember those days where you just wanted to punch a wall? Oh. I don't know what it is. I just want to hit something.
Oh, you need a cry day too? I could totally plan one.
You can plan a cry day?
I can plan it. We can cry together.
Yeah, I do. I have those on the 1st and 15th of every month when the check rolls in, and I'm like, oh, I got paid, and then I look at the bank account and look at what you spent. Those are my cry days.
Whatever. Don't even go there.
But no, I mean, it shows up in different ways. So we have to have those cathartic moments, right? But that requires us to turn to and acknowledge. That's about, again, it comes back to being mindful. And right now we're talking about emotions, but there's other things that we can be mindful about. I mean, a topic that always comes up is intimacy. And a lot of sex is like, okay, you know what? It's 11 o'clock at night. I got to get up early in the morning. Let's just hurry up. And,
I mean, like, let me. Are you asleep?
right? And it's like, but when's the last time you were mindful? Not primal, but mindful in the act of lovemaking. And really being in tune and looking into your spouse's eyes, or paying attention to what you're doing and feeling, trying to, understand the rhythm of his or her heartbeat, their breathing pattern, all these different things, feeling them tense up and just really being in tune. Or is it like, let's go, let's get this, let's go, handle that business? There needs to be more mindfulness in that. I mean, when was the last time that, let's take it outside of that intimacy, but when's the last time you sat down and talked to your child and were really in tune with what they had to say? I mean, listening, not like, okay, let me fix this real quick. Tell me what your problem is. I mean, like really listening and looking at how they're telling you their story, and either their excitement or their disappointment, and then becoming an empathetic listener, and not just an active listener listening to them so you can recount what they said and regurgitate it, but an empathetic listener. The only way you can be empathetic or be an empathetic listener is by being in the moment, being there, listening, completely present. So there's so many different things that you can actually do, but you're probably asking yourself, well, tell me more.
Okay.
No, but I mean, mindfulness is something. The mindfulness practice is going to help you shift that behavior like we talked about earlier. But one of the other things you need to do is like, how do I practice this mindfulness? There's got to be certain things that we can do. Like, let me ask you, I mean, since we're talking about it, do you have any mindful or intentional exercises?
Well, yeah. So one thing that helps, I feel like this mindfulness thing that helps us stay connected.
Oh, I already know what you're going to say. Go
What
ahead.
am I going to say?
No, go ahead.
We've shared before that we pray every morning, and typically, I won't say typically, but you pray most time, close your eyes, we hold hands or whatever. So now we've stepped it up, and so now we look into each other's eyes as we say our morning prayer, as we hold hands. It's an exercise that we actually started doing too with our couples, not necessarily the prayer part, but what we have them do is take their hands,
Just like this.
take each other's hands, and you look into each other's eyes. We set the timer for 60 seconds. We start off at 60 seconds, and you just hold hands and you just look at your person, your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, but look at your person, and just looking at them in their face, not looking away, not, looking down.
It always
closing your
becomes a
eyes.
staring contest.
No, well, it doesn't actually. I think initially maybe, but when you start to get into connecting, I feel like it helps with the connection, being mindful, just gazing.
And by the way, all you guys that just heard that, you need to pay us. You need to send some money in because that's part of our therapy. No, just playing.
I was like, what?
I'm like, send your checks to no.
No, but it's something that's good to have the couples do, and I think it's something good for you all to do also, because when you're able to be when you're being mindful, mindfulness opens up to connection, and which leads to intimacy. So that's one way.
Well, and let's give credit where credit's due. We picked up the turning towards each other and looking into each other's eyes at the becoming.
Oh yeah, at the becoming
marriage.
Becoming marriage
retreat.
Yeah.
And we took it up a notch, and we even it'll evolve. Start off with something like that, just standing there or sitting, holding hands, looking each other into each other's eyes for 60 seconds. Don't say anything, just to look and gaze into each other's eyes for that connectedness. But in our prayer, we started off with one of us praying, and then now we do it to where we both pray. Like I'll pray or she'll pray first, and then I'll pray secondarily, or we alternate, whatever it is. But the whole time with eyes open and seeing, the God inside of each of us. It's really cool.
Shout out to Declare.
Declare.
And the Mohammeds, right?
And the
He was
Muhammad's.
the ones that told us about it. Anyway, sorry, y'all. Inside joke. So, that's one thing that we do. And do you want to, or you want me to?
Go ahead. You go.
So the other one is about touch. How to be mindful too. This exercise takes one partner lays down on their back, and the other partner just touches each part of their body for like 30 seconds.
And
30 seconds.
You start at the feet.
Yeah, you start at the feet. I mean, you touch feet, ankle, legs, whatever, and you're just connecting for 30 seconds.
On each body part.
On each body part.
Now, the person that's receiving it, if you're the one laying on your back and you're receiving the touch, the intentional touch, eyes closed, and really connecting with the sensation, trying to connect with the feeling and the emotion or the sensation of what's transpiring, really focusing on that touch, while the person that's doing the touching really focuses on, like, I'm going to know these toes. I'm going to know what they look like. Oh, that's a beautiful ankle. Look at that ankle. I never noticed that there was a dimple.
But you're not going to be talking like Lovey's talking right now. Okay.
But be intentional in your observation. Be just as intentional in your observation or mindful in your observation as the person is being intentional about receiving and focusing on the touch that they're receiving. Mm-hmm. This isn't a sexual exercise. I mean, what happens, happens. That's on y'all. But this is really about going from your feet to the top of your head. Mm-hmm. But being in the moment to understand. And you can do this as often as you like.
Yeah, and then after, then you guys switch places, and then the next person, well, obviously, you switch places, and then... and
then it do what it do.
You do. But what I was going to say afterwards, you can talk about how that made you feel, how,
You can say that. I'm just talking about it. I'm getting turned on just looking at you and talking about the touch.
Get your hands off me.
But there's that. And you know what? And if you're thinking, I don't know, can I do that? Well, my partner, there's some things that you can do to even just when you're by yourself. If you have an iWatch, there's that breathe exercise that is on your watch. You can do something as simple as just doing a very basic breathing exercise. Mm-hmm. They have even something the Navy SEALs do. It's called box breathing. You can sit there where you can inhale, and it's like belly breathing. As you inhale, your stomach should be going out. And then you hold it for a few seconds, and then exhale, and your stomach should be contracting, coming in. Then you hold it. It's like inhale is 1, hold it. Exhale is 2. So it's inhale, hold, exhale, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's box breathing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, box breathing. But doing that nice and slow, just a smooth process. And do that for a few seconds. And then and focus on your breathing, how you're feeling, what you're hearing. In those moments, that's being intentional in the moment. And that's a great exercise to do in the office. It's something that you can do actually when you're driving. Just don't close your eyes.
I was about to say, what?
No, you don't have to close your eyes, but you can do that at a stoplight. For as long as you're at the stoplight, do some box breathing. If the kids are going off in the store, hit them with a box.
Really?
No, but have fun with it. But these are different ways. So those are 3 methods right there where you can actually work on your breathing. If you have the iPhone, fantastic. I'm not iPhone, but your iWatch. You can actually use that the breathing exercise that's on your watch, where it guides you. And you can tell it, I want to do this for 30 seconds or 60 seconds or 2 minutes or however long, and it'll actually take you through this exercise of breathing. It's really cool. But these are ways that you can increase your mindfulness. The more mindful that we can be, the more it'll increase your sense of appreciation and gratitude for your partner.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Also, yoga.
Yep.
Yoga. Do couples yoga.
She says that she's never done couples yoga with me.
I have done couples yoga with Lovey, and I don't like to do any type of exercise with Lovey because he loves to scrutinize if I'm not doing. Oh, put your butt up more. You need to bend more. Move your leg. No, you're not lifting right.
When I tell you to put your butt up more, that ain't got nothing to do with scrutinizing.
Really? Okay.
That ain't no scrutiny.
Whatever.
Scrutiny. But what I was saying. Sorry, it made me snort. Look at you.
So nasty.
We married.
You're so silly.
We
Everybody
married.
don't want to hear that.
The sex is sanctified.
Ugh.
Look,
Anyway.
but you can have mindfulness practice, to increase your appreciation and your gratitude for each other. That's something that happens. And what happens is you increase your relationship connection and your satisfaction. It's about look, everybody's concerned about raising their satisfaction score. When you go shopping, you go to a store. Oh, how was your experience? Everybody wants to send you surveys after you buy something. What was it like? Well, let's increase our marriage satisfaction score. You can do it through mindfulness exercises by connecting with each other. And you know what? Let's have you get 5 stars at home.
Right, that part.
In that relationship.
Seriously.
So these are certain things that you can actually do. And you talked about stress earlier. These exercises can help lower stress, which will in turn make you more open to your partner as well.
Yeah, it helps you be present.
So hopefully you guys got something out of this particular podcast. If you did, please, please, please go leave a review. That is our bread and butter. That is what we really desire, for you guys to leave it and invite a friend. Absolutely invite a friend. So please do that. And I'm looking forward to getting on a plane this Friday, flying out to Atlanta from Cali, going to the Slutty Vegan to eat food.
Good Lord. He just likes saying that. You just want to say it.
Slutty Vegan. But I want to go do that. I'm going to be mad too. I hope but there's going to be a bunch of food trucks and stuff. No, but it's a small place. You got to get it to go when you go there and get it. It's not like a big restaurant from what I've heard, but I heard it is so worth it. So anyway, I want to try that out. I'm sure there's other food.
I don't want to be walking around eating my food though. Sweating.
It's going to be like 85 degrees and humid. I don't know. It's raining right now. Anyway, you guys don't want to hear that. But look, until the next time.
Be blessed.
Bye.
Bye-bye.